Hey everyone, we're going to be talking today about Benzinga Pro. This is a breaking stock market news platform that does a really great job of delivering headlines as soon as they hit the wires so you can get into trades before everyone else sees that price movement coming. It can be a really great platform for some day and swing traders that rely on news. It is expensive, but I think it offers enough tools that price is worth it. So let's dive in. I'll show you what this platform is all about. Okay, so let's start off looking at the Benzinga Newsfeed. This is really the heart of Benzinga Pro and where you'll spend a lot of your time on this platform. So it's a real-time newsfeed, and Benzinga prides itself on taking headlines as soon as they break and delivering it straight to you. So it's one of the real advantages of Benzinga Pro is that it is super fast. You'll get information before anyone using CNBC or other free market news sites. You'll get that information faster. You can execute trades and get in before prices start to really move. So one of the things I really like about Benzinga Pro is that the newsfeed headlines tell you everything you need to know right in the headlines. So you don't have to dive deeper. So as an example here, we have Pfizer's path to profit, a look at PFE stock as drug maker rolls out $1.5 billion in cost reductions. That $1.5 billion is highlighted in green, indicating this is a bullish news story. So again, we've kind of got everything we need to know right in the headline. If we do want to know more, we can click on this and we'll actually get the full story. Again, it's doing a great job highlighting numbers that we need to know about to tell if this is a bullish or a bearish story. And of course, there's a quick chart in there so we can see how the news story is affecting the price. Benzinga also shows you whether stocks are up or down during a session with each news feed. So red indicates that a stock is down over the session, and green indicates that it's up. Really easy way to just look at what's going on in the market and see if things are net bearish or net bullish in the news today. So another great thing about Benzinga is that you can actually customize where the news is coming from. So most of the stories in the newsfeed will come from Benzinga Wire. That's Benzinga's own in-house news service, but it also picks up press releases, SEC filings, and you can even pull in blogs. So for example, blog articles from Investor Place, Tip Ranks, Stock News, and more. So a really nice way to look at information from around the internet and find out what people think about different stocks. Another feature I like is that you can actually color code all the articles in the newsfeed so that its information stands out and it's easier to find what you need. So as an example, we can look at stories around analyst ratings. We'll color those a nice bluish purple color. And now these really stand out in the newsfeed, making it easier to see when there are upgrades. So Benzinga gives you a few other ways that are pretty neat to customize the newsfeed and make it more actionable. So first we have this importance filter. Right now I have importance set to mid. You can actually customize what Benzinga is looking at when it's determining how important any news story is. Most of the importance ratings are based on Benzinga's in-house proprietary sentiment indicator. So we can set this to high if we want to see fewer news stories that are more actionable, or we can set it to low if we want to see more news stories and get a big holistic view of what's going on in the market. Another great thing you can do is filter by symbol or keyword. So as an example of how you can use this, let's say I want to look for Apple stock, but we also want to look for not just Apple, but anything related to chips or the Vision Pro, let's say. So now we're seeing all news stories that relate to Apple or chips or the Vision Pro. You can actually change these logicals so that you can look for and logicals. So this is a really great way to build complex strings of keywords that you want to look for and really hone in on news stories that you want to see and get notified about. Then another way to look at the news feed or to customize the news feed is to use the scanner. So Benzinga Pro comes with tons of scan options, including price, volume, market cap, a number of technical and fundamental parameters. So you can use all of these parameters to filter your newsfeed and look for stocks that meet these parameters. I will say the one issue I have with the filtering by scanning parameters in Benzinga Pro is that the system actually does allow you to build custom scans, and I'll show you that in a minute, but you can import custom scans and apply them directly to your newsfeed. So if you have a custom scan in Benzinga Pro, you'll have to create it again in the newsfeed each time you want to scan using that scan parameters. So then there's also watch lists. And so this is a really easy way to filter your newsfeed by, say, a set of stocks that you want to look at. In this case, I have a list of tech stocks on a watch list, so we can filter the newsfeed based on just those. Okay, so now I want to step back and take a look at how Benzinga is laid out and how that can really help you as a trader. So on the left here, we have all of the tools and modules available in Benzinga Pro. You can see that when you hover over this, it asks whether you want to open it in a new window, which is really great if you have multiple monitors, or in the workspace. So what we're looking at in the newsfeed here is one workspace, and I've actually got a bunch of different workspaces arranged along the top here in tabs. I love this workspace layout because it makes it really easy to build different workspaces for different purposes. So here I built a workspace around Apple stock, and I'll show you kind of how I have this laid out. I have the news feed here on the upper left, filtered by Apple ticker, so we're only looking at headlines that talk specifically about Apple and reference the ticker. On the bottom, we have a chart of Apple stock, a 1-minute chart from TradingView, and we can apply all of TradingView's indicators and drawing tools on this chart if we want. And then here on the upper right, we have signals. This is a neat module that looks at price spikes, option activity, block trades, opening gaps, and price highs and lows. You can look at either daily or 52-week highs and lows. So really just a nice way to filter to Apple stock and see kind of what interesting option activity is happening around the stock that we need to know about. Now, where these workspaces get interesting is that you don't have to limit yourself to Apple stock. You can build a workspace around whatever stocks you want to trade. So you can build a workspace with a newsfeed focused on, for example, healthcare stocks or energy stocks, or about stocks in one of your watch lists. It's a really great way to focus in on a group of stocks, get news about them, and be able to find opportunities as soon as they pop up. Okay, so now let's take a look at the Benzinga Pro scanner. So this scanner has a lot in common with the scanner in FinViz, which is actually free, but there's a big advantage to having the scanner built into Benzinga Pro in that you can use the scanner to find opportunities and then use the newsfeed to find out what's driving those opportunities. Another advantage over the FinViz scanner is that this scanner automatically refreshes. You can actually set it to real-time refreshing. I've got it at 10 seconds just so it's a little bit easier to look at. Okay, so let's dive into the price and volume filters that Benzinga offers. There's a bunch of different filters for price, price change, dividend yield, volume, relative volume, and RSI. A lot of these are relative over different time scales, so it makes it really easy to kind of narrow in your search without buttonholing yourself too much. There's also these reference filters, which are just related to, share structure, short interest, earnings, and more. And then finally, we have fundamental parameters, which includes market cap, earnings per share, profit margins, and factors like that. So you can see all of these in one place. I like that Benzinga breaks them out into different categories. It just makes it a little bit easier to follow. If we do set up filters, they show up in this active column. So again, easy to manage what's going on here. You can customize the columns in this scan results window, so making it easy to look at what's important to you. And then again, like I said earlier, you can actually save all your scanners. The only downside is you can't apply save scans directly to the newsfeed. Okay, so then we're going to jump over to charting. Benzinga uses charts from TradingView, so if you've used TradingView before, these charts will look really familiar. You have access to all of TradingView's standard drawing tools and indicators. You can look at charts down to 1 minute. Unfortunately, there's no way to integrate if you have a paid TradingView account. You can't pull in your paid features into Benzinga Pro, but of course you can just have TradingView open in another window, and I definitely recommend that when you're using Benzinga. Okay, and I just want to show you a few more of the modules available in Benzinga Pro. So we looked at this signals module earlier. Here we can see it in action where we're not filtering to a specific ticker. We can see options activity, price spikes, and block trades across the market. So this gives you an idea of how you can use this tool to find ideas in real time. Benzinga also tracks insider trading activity, and there's a few different filters for this. We can look at all insider trading activity, but what's really nice is that you can actually filter in just a click to looking at, for example, multiple insider buys. So stocks that have insiders buying stocks repeatedly, which is a pretty bullish signal. And then finally, we can make watch lists in Benzinga Pro. I've got a watch list of tech stocks here. Just gives you an idea of how you can use these watch lists, and these work really nicely with the news feed and the scanner. There is one other feature within Benzinga Pro that's worth talking about, and this is the graphing feature. This is actually relatively new. It reminds me a lot of the heat maps and bubble plots in FinViz, and it's a really nice visualization tool, although I haven't quite figured out how to use it effectively in Benzinga yet. The big problem I found with it is that you can add individual tickers or even a watch list at the same time, but you can't search for example, all stocks in an industry. So I can't throw all healthcare stocks or all energy stocks onto this bubble plot and look at which stocks have the best return on investment, for example. So that makes it a little more limiting compared to the free bubble plot tool in FinViz. And I'd actually recommend using that free tool over Benzinga's grasp at this point. But again, this is a new feature, so I'm really hoping they'll expand this and achieve something like what FinViz has put out there. And so finally, I want to look at the chat rooms within Benzinga Pro. So there's a couple different chat room options. Here we're looking at the Anne-Marie Bain Trades chat room. There's a chat room for crypto. There's one for options, for day trading. These chat rooms are pretty active. So they can be really good if you're looking for a trader chat room. The thing to keep in mind is that they're not led by a professional trader, so they can be pretty freewheeling. They're not necessarily the most helpful for generating ideas. It's a nice feature to have, but it's really not the purpose of Benzinga Pro. So before we move into pricing, there's one last feature I want to talk about Benzinga Pro, and this is the audio squawk. For day traders, this can be a really powerful feature. So there's not much to it. It's not very customizable, but basically what this will do is as you're trading, you don't have to necessarily pay attention to the newsfeed. When there's an important story that you need to know about, Benzinga Pro will actually just shout it out with the squawk. It'll come play, it'll read out the headline over your computer speaker, and you can hear it, so you don't have to look at the newsfeed, you can focus on your charts. Really powerful feature for fast-paced trading days and high-speed day trading. Okay, so now let's take a look at Benzinga Pro's pricing. There are 3 pricing options here: basic, streamlined, and essential. And don't let the names fool you. Essential is actually the most expensive, sort of fully featured pricing plan available here. So the basic plan is honestly a little bit basic. It gives you access to the newsfeed, but you don't get all those filters I showed you. So it's kind of hard to use the newsfeed in a way that's actionable. The streamlined plan does give you those newsfeed filters. And so I think it's the best option for most traders. It's a lot more expensive though, at $147 per month. So it's a big step up from that basic plan at $37 a month. The essential plan gives you basically everything I showed you. The main things it adds are the real-time scanner and the trading signals. If you don't use those, and not all traders will, the streamlined plan is a great alternative, and you'll save $50 a month, which is not nothing. I think that you can get similar features to the real-time scanner for free in FinViz. There's definitely an advantage to having that scanner built into Benzinga Pro, but for $50 a month, I'll probably go for the free FinViz scanner. So overall, my take is that Benzinga Pro is a really great news platform for fast-paced day trading and swing traders who want to trade around news. I think it's one of the better news scanners out there, and it's definitely pricey, but if you trade on news, that price is worth it. You'll make that back in a month or so. So my take on Benzinga Pro is that this is one of the better news scanning platforms out there. It's particularly good if you're a day trader or swing trader who trades around market news and you want to get in before the rest of the market knows about breaking news. Benzinga does a really nice job with its headlines, and the newsfeed is honestly worth the price. It's almost $150 a month for that streamlined plan, which is the one I would recommend, but I think that that's worth it if you're making a lot of day trades based around news. You should be able to make that price of this software back in about a week of trading with no problem. So my takeaway on Benzinga Pro is that this is one of the better news scanning platforms out there. It's a really powerful platform if you're a day trader or a swing trader who trades around breaking news and you want to be able to move into positions before the rest of the market knows about those headlines. I definitely recommend using it with a scanner like FinViz if you're not on the essential plan here, and with charting software like TradingView. The streamlined plan, the one I'd recommend for the majority of users, at $147 per month, it's not cheap, but I think for what Benzinga Pro offers, it's overall worth it, and this is a platform I would definitely recommend.